Hi, this is David, and I wanted to do this video on the subject of does absence truly make the heart grow fonder? Um, I guess that particular phrase was coined for lovers. That sometimes when lovers are apart for short periods of time, they really want each other more. Today, I wanted to do this video on my experience. That's all, just my experience. Can you repair broken relationships or non-relationships? Here's my experience. I've been in the Mormon church, was for 50 years, half a century. I am now being shunned by my Mormon families, and I've disowned the kids anyway because I don't want that grief and stress in my life. But anyway, many of us have this, I think, false idea that maybe we haven't seen one of our children for 5 or 10 or 20 years, and suddenly we can rejuvenate and or create a real relationship. My experience is no. I'm sad to say that. It took me 64 years to figure that out. I have a sweet daughter that we haven't been together. She was 2 years old when her mom and I broke up, and the mom withheld the children. That's what moms do. They destroy the child's relationship with the father. They don't care. Moms want to punish the man for whatever alleged deeds he committed. The point is, I hadn't seen that baby. She's 30 now, so I hadn't seen her for 27 years. And she wants to have a daddy-daughter relationship. Well, I tried. Went down a couple of times, saw her, took her out to lunch, called her on the telephone, had her come over and visit and with her children, with her husband, her family. And we tried. And I'll tell you, it didn't work. It might be unique to me. It might be unique to this young daughter. I don't think so. I've been analyzing, well, what is a relationship? What makes people connect? What are those connecting values that cause human beings to go, oh, that's my daughter, oh, that's my dad, or that's my husband or wife? It appears to me that, of course, as human beings, we're born in total isolation. We don't know mom, dad, we have no friends, and we just cry and pee and crap. And as life goes on, pretty soon, there's a person, usually the mother, that is feeding us and diapering us, and we understand and hear her voice, and we hear, her singing to us or whatever. And that's the first relationship. And then, you get dad peeking over the crib, and she hears his voice, and suddenly there's more connections. There's more connections. But I'm going to put this out as a theory to you that if there's no connections there, there's no relationship. And then trying to reconnect with a grown child, how are you going to do that? She's already married. She already has another man in her life. She already has 3 or 4 kids. One of the kids has already graduated from high school. The mother has all new talents and new skills and new experiences in her life that didn't include you or me. So what are we supposed to do? We sit down at lunch and we're trying to rekindle the relationship. We got nothing to talk about after we're done talking about each other's family, which has no connection to each other. We can talk about politics. We can talk about religion and other kinds of philosophical things, but we haven't shared experiences. We haven't shared life. I can't say, oh, remember when you were 12 years old and you fell in that pool and I gave you mouth to mouth and I saved your life? Well, no, because it didn't happen. You didn't see them in school. You didn't get their school pictures. You didn't involve, and they didn't involve themselves. Now, I'm going to cut some slack here on the kids. They're children, and when they're young like that, certainly they're going to side probably with their mothers, and they're going to hate you because she hates them. It's an ugly thing that goes on. But my point on this video is if you haven't been with that person, if you haven't shared experiences of life with that person, there comes a point you never will. You never will. Because now you've got a husband involved and more in-laws involved and grandchildren involved, and you're trying to rekindle a relationship that was never there. And it ain't going to be there. Now, this disappoints me to say these things, because I thought you could. I thought if I called her enough and gave her a couple of videos and spoke kindly and listened to her problems and, tried to... you can't rekindle a relationship that was never there. What you're doing is you're trying to grow a new relationship. Well, your kids and my kids, some of them have very different personalities. We wouldn't even choose them as friends. The only reason we're associating with them is because we have some kind of blood connection. They have their own likes, desires, perhaps religion and opinions and political places. They're not children anymore. And now what you've done is you've picked up a stranger and you've sat down to have lunch with them, and you're supposed to feel like this is a father and daughter relationship. Well, I'm sorry, folks. It makes me sad and it makes me unhappy, because I always believed that you could rekindle or restart and or develop a new relationship with a child. You can't. It's gone. The hours, the days, the months, and the years where you would have been connecting to each other didn't happen. So now you both are in adulthood, and she's a stranger, I'm a stranger, and frankly, we wouldn't even choose each other for friends if we weren't father and daughter. We feel a little obligated because of society and a little obligated because of what we've been taught in our culture. But my experience is it ain't going to happen. Now, I've tried this. I've tried this with, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I forget how many daughters. I've got 6, I forget. I got 2 daughters at home here. But anyway, I'm not speaking from just one child and one daughter or one son. If you've been yanked away or they've been yanked away, every month that goes by dissolves any connections that you have, and you're not building any new connections. So you give yourself 10, 15, or 20 years, you're talking to a stranger across the table. You may not even like them, and they may not like you, but you're just kind of being kind to each other because you're related. Well, I'm sorry, before I die, I'm going to say the truth of my experience. And my experience as a psychologist, I'm not a licensed psychologist, as a social worker and a master's level person, my experience with human beings is that when you separate them, the relationships are destroyed. Are they able to be rekindled? Oh, there'll be a couple of the Mormons that come on and say, well, we feel guilty that we've shunned a father or a mother. And yeah, you can restart a relationship. And maybe some of you can. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm just by myself. I'm out there, and 99.9% of you who have been away from lovers, from children, from parents, and the relationship has not developed, maybe you can rekindle it. If you can, for God's sakes, put it in my comments, and I'll try it with my kids. I can't do it. I've tried it with 3, 4, 5, 7 kids, and once those mothers pull those kids away, they have destroyed any parent, father-daughter, father-son relationship. And no matter how hard the absent parent tries, it doesn't matter. You're just beating your head against the wall, and you're talking to your hand. So I just wanted to make this somewhat of a quick video that trying to rekindle relationships that never were, or were so shallow and so loosely developed 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, ain't going to happen. So, those of you that are in divorces, those of you that are away from parents and children, every year that we let it go by, that we don't do something to continue to develop that relationship with experiences and time with each other, you can't play catch-up. You can't play catch-up. Now, an absent parent sending letters to kids, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It makes the absent parent feel better. I guess sometimes the kids like getting letters, but is that a relationship? That's kind of like writing grandma. We're out of touch. We're out of touch with that human being, And to have relationships, there must be connections. And if you think a letter is going to connect you, you know, your standards are lower than mine. My standards are, you know, being able to talk and advise and be able to listen to each other and experience each other's lives. If you think a letter is going to cement your relationship with someone who is long gone, we've already learned in the Mormon church that when the missionaries go on a mission and the girls say, "Oh, I promised to wait for you," they get Dear John letters all the time. So if the relationship isn't there and you're not developing it, I think the relationship is dead. You're going to go to your grave and go, well, you know, there's one kid that has my genetics and my blood, but I don't have a relationship with that child for whatever the reasons. Thank you.